So I've been playing Chulip. There's two kind of people in this world. People that know Chulip from the Game Grumps. And people that don't. And I'm one of those people that saw this game on Grump. And while they were kind of mocking it, I actually got really interested in it. So I instantly started googling this game because I knew I wanted it. But then... no pal. That meant that if I ever wanted to play this, I would have had to import the game and then find a US PS2 as well. And I didn't really have a whole lot of money at the time, so I just kind of left it there and forgot about it. Until now. I was just kind of mindlessly browsing the PlayStation Store when I saw they were selling PS2 games. I just assumed it would probably just be a bunch of... And in the midst of all that awesomeness, there it was. So Chulip is a game published by Natsume, who are best known for classics like Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, and Harvest Moon. And it's developed by Punchline, who also made Rule of Rose, which is just one of the most fiendishly awesome and depressingly unplayable pieces of fuck I have ever come across. This game, however, is about a poor boy from a poor family called Ned, who just moved into a small Japanese town. In this town, there is a girl called Ned, whom he had kissed in a dream and therefore he must do the same in real life. But she won't let him, because he's just a poor boy from a poor family. So Ned decides the best course of action would be to kiss all of the townsfolk to strengthen his heart. That's where the gameplay comes into play. You need to start kissing people, but of course you need to get friendly with them first. So you gotta start doing chores for them. The more people you kiss, the more lives you get. There's also a large group of people that live underground. These people can only be kissed at certain times. Basically, you just gotta go around trying different things at different times on different people. A trial and error kind of thing. There is, however, one big issue with this. And that issue is death. Something can just up and kill you just like that without any warning whatsoever. And when you die, you gotta restart from where you last saved. Thing is, you can only save at a very select few toilets. Which makes it so you have to replay large portions of the game every time you die. And seriously, fuck that shit. At one point I nearly had to replay an hour of gameplay just because out of nowhere... It's shit like this that makes people quit games. The only way you could make this more bearable is by saving very often. But saving is actually really hard to do in some parts of the game, which makes it even more frustrating. This makes trial and erroring really hard to do, because something might just unexpectedly decide to kill you. And even though things get a bit easier once you get more lives, it's still no reason to make death so extremely punishing by sending you all the way back to the title screen. Either do that and make saving really convenient and accessible so you can save before you try something, or just make it so that death only sets you back right before the death point. You don't get to have your dick and eat it too. If it were any other old piece of shit, I would have given up then and there. But I kept going. You wanna know why? Well, I'll tell you why. The fucking everything else this game has to offer. The atmosphere, for instance, is just so goddamn... I just fucking love assing around in rural Japanese towns. It's the same reason I like Persona 4 and Shenmue as much as I do. And just the frickin' menu sounds, man. I also like the way how the townsfolk interact with each other. But what I love about this game most of all is the underlying theme. This whole thing is just one big social commentary. I am an artist, so I don't have to do anything. You can't trouble people just because you are poor. The whole thing with kissing other people to become more experienced is very much in a similar vein as well. It just has a very dark and cynical look on life with a moody sense of humor, which is something me and this game definitely have in common. It deals with things like suicide, poverty, unemployment, and depression, and it deals with all of this in a surprisingly lighthearted and humorous way. But despite that humor, it still manages to have a very broody atmosphere. Like, everyone in this town is either depressed, angry, or crazy. Walking around in this game made me feel like I was playing some dark, abstract, bizarro version of Animal Crossing. And I fucking love this game because of it. It's very similar to Rule of Rose in that respect. It's almost borderline unplayable because of the gameplay being so incredibly frustrating, but it's just so charming and lovable in every other way that you just can't help but liking it afterwards. I just... Ooh!